Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here of businesswithtrading.com, doing a trading strategy recap for Wednesday the 6th of May, and today was a very interesting day. Today price did gap up a little bit and quickly ran lower only to get extremely choppy, and then after the room closed a little while, the price ended up shooting much lower, but it is what it is. Anyway, today we have 3 trades. We were 2 for 1 and ended up pulling 5.5 points out of the market. Looking at price, probably should have been able to do a little more, but 5.5 points, I will take that every single day. 5.5 points every single day, you're going to look decent, definitely. So anyway, what did we do? Our first trade, we kind of just watched price. It opened up, it started to drop, didn't really give us much, and then we kind of just watched everything. As price started to, actually right over here, price started to sell off a little bit, we decided to get long right here. Took profits at the top of this, and then prices started to sell off. We just sat there and watched it sell off. And then we watched everything else. As price started to come down here, we decided, okay, let's get long again right here. Now market told us that was a bad idea. I thought that would be funny, but no, we got quickly stopped out of that. And then we kind of watched things a little bit from there, and we decided, okay, well, let's get long right here, see what happens. Price gave us a little bit of heat, and then it started to move higher. We ended up taking profit right up here. Not too bad. Price did come up a little bit higher, and we were looking for things. Maybe it can, take out this high here, which it tried to do, but couldn't do, and then it sold off again. So we just pretty much called it a day up here. Price couldn't really get above it. Couldn't really do much of what we were actually wanting. So we just called it a day. Going home 5.5 points more than what we had before. It's hard to complain about that. Looking at the rest of the day, we talked about it. It just was very weak. It was just one of those things. The morning session gave us some pretty good trades. We did take a stop out on this one, and it was a very quick one. We got in, and it was probably 5-10 seconds later we were out of it. It was something like that. It was very interesting. A lot of times, we get into a trade, it might hold an area and chop around for a little while and then stop us out. But to be able to get into a trade and then just get out of the trade really quick. And I've had it both ways. Throughout my trading career, I've gotten in a trade, put in my target, my stop, and been taken out 30 seconds, 20 seconds later to my target. That has happened. And it's also happened this way, where you get in and prices hit your stop right away. It's just one of those things. And I always say trading, every trade's going to be different, and you have to look at it objectively, like a detective, and be able to say, well, this happened here, let's see what happens over here. And those two events are not correlated. It's not a murder mystery that we're trying to solve here. This trade and this trade, colluded together to kill this trade over here. That's not what happened. This trade and this trade are totally different. They're on different levels. You can take it a step further and say every trade's in a different dimension. It doesn't really matter. But I mean, if you do that, you could really get into a bad analogy. So, really, we had a very good day. 5.5 points. We jumped onto this trade. We got stopped out here, and then we jumped onto this trade that we were able to take some profit on. We missed all of this. We missed this move down and this move up. And this move down because we were trying to get long, so that's why we missed that. But it goes to show you do not have to be in every single trade to make money. 5.5 points. Let's say you were trading 10 times the contracts that we were trading today. What about 20, 30? That's where the real money is made. The methodology that I teach. I always encourage people to start small. Have you ever traded before? Okay, no, never. Well, let's start with one contract, 2 maximum. Have you traded before but you have not been successful? Okay, well, let's start with 1 contract, 2 maximum. Because whenever you start trading, a lot of people, and I came into trading because I saw, hey, there's a lot of money. People, you can make a lot of money trading. It's so simple. Baby could do it. And then you find out, holy shit, man, I just blew out an account. What's going on here? And that's how I kind of got into trading. I always have been a very competitive person. So I did see the competitive nature of trading. But dollar signs always outweigh anything else. Whenever you're looking at something, if that's not what you saw, you're probably lying. And I say probably because there probably are a couple people that got into trading and it wasn't money was not the majority reason. But, for the most part, I think money is the main reason. And I say that from having coached thousands and thousands of traders, seeing forum posts, all this stuff. So I feel confident in saying that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But once you get into trading, once you start trading for a little while, there has to be something else. Money can't be the main thing. Maybe you like the competition of it. Maybe you enjoy having extra time. You can, once you get really good at trading, you can trade for a set time. For example, 9:30 to 12 o'clock, which is what we do in the room. Give or take a couple extra hours a day for analysis. So that's 5 hours. Give or take a half an hour. And there you go. That's a lot of extra time that you have there. So anyway, hopefully that made sense. Now, I want to talk about a trade that we got into the other day, crude oil. Got into it right in here. And we got into it in the most interesting way possible because we got long down here and right here we got a flip stop, which is basically we got stopped out and you can flip your position at the same exact time because all you do is buy double of what you're short, flip your position, and we wrote it up. I sent out an email early this morning, right in here, and it was towards the end of this candle, so a little bit before this one, and I said let's move our stops up here to 61.50, see what happens, and price did come up a little bit, and then it rolled over, so we ended up getting taken right there. So what did we do on this trade? We got taken in right here around 6 o'clock yesterday morning. And this is an hourly chart, so obviously it wasn't right at 6, but it was between 6 and 7 yesterday morning. And we got out today around 10 o'clock this morning. And obviously it was around 10 to 11, somewhere in there. Which is not bad. And we made 2 points. Okay, let's get out our drawing tool. So 2 points at $1,000 a point, you can do the math on that. $2,000, and we trade two sides, and that's my multiplication symbol. It's pretty horrible. We made $4,000 in a little bit over a day, because it was between 6 and 7 and 10 and 11. That's a couple hours. Who really cares? So basically 28 hours we made that amount. We made $4,000. And that's just because we followed our plan. We were able to adhere to our trading strategy and say, okay, well, we're looking for this to happen, but what if this doesn't happen? We can jump on the other side of it and see what does play out. And getting the ability to get out up here, because you always have to take profits at some point. I was thinking that maybe crude would be able to come up a little bit more, but it is what it is. And you have to be comfortable with that. I've talked to many people and they're not that comfortable with that. They want to get the most possible, and they're pissed off if they don't get it. They're like, well, two crude oil points. Well, shit, look at that. I could have taken 3 or more. And you're like, yeah, about 10 cents worth, because it went up to approximately 62.60. And 62.50 would have been your 3-point target if you would have been looking for 3 points. But who says that it wouldn't have hit it and then gone up even more? Then you'd be pissed off that you didn't get the other part that's up there. So that's why my methodology is the way that it is. It's very easy to implement. It's very easy to explain to somebody else, and it's very easy for them to implement. And it's not about top ticking a market or being able to capture every move of the day. Because that's evidently not what we did today. We did not capture every move of the day today. We didn't do it yesterday, or the day before, or the day before that, or the day before that, or the day before that, ad infinitum. That's not what we did. Because that's not logical. It's not rational. To think that you're going to be able to capture every single move in the market. I was working with a new trader. This was last year. And, they asked me, they said, well, your methodology is good and you make money. And I've been with you for long enough to know that you make money. But I want more. I want to be able to make more trades in a day. So I asked, I said, well, why do you want to make more trades in a day? And it's all about that employee mentality, thinking that the more that you work, the more productive you are at your job, the more likely you are to get a raise. It's this concept applied to the market. So the more trades you make, the more likely you are to make more money, which is total bullshit. The more time that you spend in front of a chart, the more likely you are to make more money. This is also bullshit. Why is that bullshit? Well, we spend 2.5 hours in front of our charts in the day trade room. We do analysis outside of that, but analysis is not part of our trading. We already know what we're looking for when we sit down. All we have to do is wait for those things to come together, and then we can place our trade. But let's say you sat down in front of your computer for 8 hours straight. That just doesn't make sense, because you're more likely to do something stupid. Your brain can't focus for 8 hours straight. It's just not possible. It doesn't happen. There are little windows of intense focus. And trading, you really need to have intense focus as you're going throughout the day. You don't want to accidentally do something stupid. You know, let's say you're watching the screen, your brain gets more tired as it goes, and then it starts making up trades. Like, here's a setup, and then you look at it in hindsight, and you're like, okay, well, this, and this were coming together, but that and that were not. Therefore, it actually wasn't a very good setup. So, I'm not sure why I took that. It's because your brain was tired. But that's something I can talk about for, months on end. So, anyway, just to make the video a nominal amount of time, we're going to go ahead and end it here. If you got something out of it, if you have something you'd like to add, comment section below. Don't hesitate to use it. If you have any questions, I believe there's no such thing as a dumb question, only the one that's not asked. I was once a new trader. I was once new at every single skill that I have, that I'm good at. Even the skills that I'm not that good at. So to get to be better at those, you have to ask questions. So my email address, support@abusinesswithtrading.com. If you'd rather call in, under the About tab on the website, there's a contact form, and the number is right there. So if you want to use that, use it. Always leave a message if I'm not able to pick up the phone, just because then I can give you a call back. So with that, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.